What's up guys, it's Kendrick with Heavenbound Music Marketing, and today I'm going to be showing you how we turn an independent artist from getting 562 streams a day to now getting almost 3,000 streams in a single day. So today we're going to be diving into that. Let's go. So jumping straight into it and just looking directly at the results, we started with this artist around May 18th, so he was getting around 536 streams a day, and now we're clearing 2,882 streams in a single day, almost to 3,000, and then continuing to scale from there, which is huge, especially because we did that within a 90-day period. And not just the streams, but as you can see, the saves have gone up. I mean, peaking at 122 saves in a single day. We've grown this artist 50% increase in his listeners, 11% in his monthly active listeners, 17% in his streams overall, 42% in his saves, 14% in playlist ads, and 5% in followers. So if this doesn't tell you, with having the right marketing strategy and what it could do for your career, even on a limited budget, right? Not dropping tens of thousands of dollars, right? Not trust fund baby pouring all this money into your music, but able to come in with an intentional strategy and really change the trajectory of an artist's career. Heavenbound is the way to go. We know what we're doing. We'd love and be honored to help you. I mean, the amount of growth that we were able to do in 90 days is insane, and we're just getting started for this artist as well. And the craziest part of that, this wasn't built through random playlist placements. This was built through targeted, intentional meta advertising, focusing on engagement, focusing on active monthly listeners, focusing on saves, playlist ads, keeping the streams per listener where it needs to be so that we can trigger the Spotify algorithm. So now I'm going to be diving into all of that. So like I mentioned, the campaign is 3-month periods coming to an end. So we've been with this artist for about 3 months. Another thing to notate with the engagement level is, like, when we started, he was getting around 10 saves a day, and again, now we're clearing 122 saves a day, which is a major increase. That's a 10x 12x increase in engagement, which is absolutely insane, especially because this artist didn't come in on some high level package spending thousands and thousands of dollars. This artist came in on a very budget friendly and affordable package with Heavenbound, and we were able to make something shake with what he had, which is an absolute blessing. And the thing about this song, guys, is that this song had potential, and I'll show you the song here shortly. It wasn't the fact that the song wasn't good, but it needed the right system. It needed the right marketing strategy to reach that next level. I'm sure you guys can hear this, but like, it has like a nice pickup. Another huge marketing thing is to make sure that your song comes in the first 30 seconds, especially when you're running ads, and you're thinking about marketing a song, because we don't want to lose their intention, right? We don't want them to bounce as soon as they click on your ad, because it takes you forever to come in. He starts rapping at 10 seconds.
If I told you my testimony, you would not believe me, but I've been in the ring. I started out smoking when I was 13, and I thought that I knew it all, smoking some weed. It started out just as a hobby, but I didn't know all the damages that it would leave. I started to get hooked, and I started to get anxious. Got kicked out of school for selling the tree. They put me in cuffs, got locked in a cell. I was only 14, didn't know how to feel. I got out and went back to chasing the thrill, hopping in.
You see, and another thing is, like, when this artist started, he didn't have this merch linked to the song, and because the song started to pick up, I was like, hey, we got to make sure we're generating revenue, and we'll save that for another video. But this artist is now having merch connected to the song, so fans can now support his ministry and support his music career, which is a whole nother thing. Now, just jumping into the strategy a little bit, we did try 2 different ad sets. This is the campaign as a whole. The total spend in ad spend was around $1,700 over a 3-month period. I believe he incrementally increased his ad spend over the 3-month period, but if we just look at an average of what he spent, this is around $576 a month in ad spend, which is very, very affordable considering the results that we've gotten for him. And we're going to jump into all those, but just looking at the impressions, looking at the reach, and then actually going inside and looking at the conversions that we were able to drive, this is amazing, man. And when we actually dive into a little bit more of the analytics, like looking into the countries, as you guys can see, a majority of these conversions, I mean, they're all tier 1 countries, right? Like, these are the highest paying countries for royalties and revenue, and just like, this is where you would want to have your fan base in, especially if you're an artist from the United States or one of these tier 1 countries, because it's going to pay you more in streams. You're also going to want to build your fan base in these countries because they are higher paying. So like, when you have shows or merch, they're going to be more likely to buy your merch or go to your show. Even diving into a little bit more of the analytics, like the age range, like, we didn't even target anything outside of this range because we knew that we were going to be able to get a good cost per result for this range. And we can jump into everything as far as placement goes, platform, you know, looking at the platform, you know, Instagram took the lead here. I'm not surprised about that. And we look at the placements of seeing that like most of it came from Reels. I'm not surprised. And these are things that you just want to pay attention to as you start to market for yourself or marketing with an agency like us and allowing us to take care of that for you. Now also looking at like top performing creatives, obviously like we know what the winners were, and we did a lot of optimization throughout this process. So like figuring out what was working, what wasn't, optimizing primary text, headlines, videos, and just making sure that we were consistently driving that cost per result down. And by the way, guys, 39 cents for tier 1, and obviously that fluctuated, but tier 1 US conversions is amazing. That's smash amazing. You know, if we were throwing some tier 2 in there, I'd like to see it a little bit lower, but for tier 1 only, such a good result. And it's not even just about the cost per result, because I've seen artists that get, oh, I get 30 cents cost per conversion tier 1. Okay, well, let's see what's going on in your Spotify. Let's see the engagement, and they'll be getting, you know, a couple of saves a day. But the fact that like the people that are converting, even if we're paying 39 cents, clearly the people that are converting are becoming long-term fans and engaging with the song, right? Now, just going into a couple creatives, like here at Heavenbound, we really do like to focus on more of an organic style. I don't want to feel like I'm selling you, right? I want you to feel like you're scrolling and you came across a reel that you really liked, but it just happens to be an ad. And that's kind of like the method that we went with here for Jacob. So talking about his life, his testimony, but as you can see, like trying different styles, like organic styles. I'm just showing you guys a couple examples here. Very simple. Simplicity is key nowadays. I mean, obviously there's times where like for example, this artist, I didn't have to go pull stock footage or make custom footage. We were able to use the footage with the artist in it, which is my favorite thing because it really does build that connection with the fans. But sometimes, you know, like if you're an artist that doesn't like to be on the camera or you don't want to go film, that's fine. You know, we can make a very successful campaign without having you in it at all. I've done it a million times, but it was really cool to see that this artist was able to have good cost per result with him in it as well. And guys, I'm not going to go into the entire build out of the campaign. I'm not going to go into everything, but I will say that for this campaign in specific, we didn't have to do extremely crazy targeting, right? I'm just showing you some simple layout here. We kept it pretty simple and pretty basic. Another thing to note as well is like you might not get these cost per results by you just coming in and making your own campaign. And the reason being for that is because when it comes down to like you spending money on Meta, the more money you spend, like we've spent like a ridiculous amount of money on our Meta, right? Like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we're going to be able to achieve a better cost per result than pretty much anyone, especially within the Christian music niche. Obviously you're talking secular labels, we're getting into a whole different conversation, but we're able to get, if not the best cost per result for Christian artists, which is why artists that even know how to utilize Meta and market their music, they still choose to come to us because our Meta pixel's so warm. We're optimizing every day. We have our hands in here every single day, and we have the time. This is what we do. You know what I mean? This is what we do full time. So just something to keep in mind. So for this artist, we're using Submit Hub, but for most artists, most of the time using Future FM. But we decided to use Submit Hub for him because we saw that the click-through rates were a little bit higher on this platform for him. So, I mean, that's just kind of an extensive level of testing that you can do. You don't have to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of like let you guys know the process of like, okay, they come from the ad, they go here, they go to Spotify, right? It takes them directly to Spotify. Make sure you have the song auto playing as soon as they go into Spotify as well. It's very important. But yeah, those are just a couple things, and again, I'm not going to teach you every single thing about how to build the Meta campaign from scratch, and if you do need help with that, you can reach out and we're happy to help you with it. But I just want to show you guys like what you're able to do with the right strategy, with the right creatives, with the right campaign, and just bringing everything all together, you know. And the last thing I want to go over is algorithmic growth, because it really does play into what we're doing with this Meta campaign here. I mean, this song has gotten 89,000 streams from radio, 14,000 streams from mixes, 3,000 from DJ, 3,000 from Discover Weekly, Release Radar 3,000. So clearly the marketing strategy we're using, running these Meta campaigns and doing what we're doing, isn't just driving traffic from direct to consumer, but it's also triggering the Spotify algorithm, which I think is the most important metric. And playlisting by itself will never be able to do that for you, which is why it's so important to have a successful Meta campaign and market from direct to song, utilizing whether you're doing it yourself or a company like us to come in and help you reach the people that deserve to hear your music. And more than likely, have been looking for this music all along. They didn't have it come across their page or didn't have the opportunity to discover it, and that's the difference in what we do. So I really just want to cover, like, this is how many streams this artist got over the 3-month period, like just in general between all his music and whatnot. Spends around $1,730 in ad spend, and they were able to make back around $2,340 in revenue. So I just want to really show you guys, like, there is a return on investment here. We're just getting started. When you start a business, you don't expect to see all the money back in 90 days, but we were able to do that for this artist. So with the right strategy, with the right team, it is possible to make what you're doing with your music profitable, especially having the right avenues and ways for people to support you. And those are all things that we help with here at Heaven Bound. So I hope you guys are blessed. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And just remember, creatives come first. Engagement quality matters more than empty volume, and consistency gives the algorithm time to learn. So if you're an artist with quality music, you're struggling to get in front of the right people, this is exactly what Heaven Bound helps artists with on a day-to-day basis. We do not believe in fake overnight promises. We don't believe in just utilizing playlisting, chasing empty numbers. We build campaigns designed to help artists change their life, change your career. If you want a team to look at your music, determine whether the strategy makes sense for you, click the link in the description, book a call with us. I'll hop on with you, I'll walk you through the process, and I'll see if it makes sense for us to work together. God bless. Stay safe out there.